Hello everyone, myself Girish with CATIA tutorials. I'm here with the new session that is getting started with CATIA basic part modeling. Okay, agenda here is to deal with the basics of part modeling. Okay, and we'll see a few of the exercises and we'll see what exactly the first angle and third angle projection, how we need to implement it, how to analyze the standard views, and finally we'll see a few of the exercises from intermediate to advanced level. Okay. So let's understand what exactly the first angle and third angle projection is. Yeah, here you could see this is the first angle projection, okay, and this is third angle projection. Shortcut to remember is first angle front view first, okay, and after that you will get the top view. The third angle projection, it is the Indian standard, okay, we use the third angle projection everywhere. Occasionally it comes with the top view in the beginning and then front view, okay. To understand this concept, a simple scenario is you can consider this one, this x and y coordinates. Like you can consider this is the first quadrant, second, third, and fourth. Okay, this is the third quadrant, and this is the first quadrant. We'll consider. Okay, and here, sorry, and here, if I keep the object, let's say this object only. This is the front view, right? This is here, and we are standing here. Okay, and you're just seeing from the front, and you will see this front view on this plane. Okay, we'll consider this as a plane. Okay, and if you want to see the top view, from the top you're gonna see that particular the model's top view reflection will be on this ground plane, right? So here the front and here top, and if you move this particular plane clockwise here, and if you make it a normal to view clockwise like this, the top view the front view will be first like this, and the top will be just beside it. It comes second. We'll consider the same thing with respect to the third angle projection. Okay, you're standing here, you consider you're standing here, and this is the model. Okay, and if you see from this side, the front view will lie on this plane, and the top view from the bottom, if you see, it will lie here. Okay, and if I move this particular plane, the top view plane towards this, okay, and if I keep it normal, so the top view will be first and the front view will be here. Okay, I'm getting it right. In short, this is the first angle projection. If I consider the object is here, if you're standing, front view will lie here and the top view will lie here, and if you move it clockwise, first comes front view and then top view. In third angle projection, here you're standing, the front will be here and the top will be here. From the bottom you're gonna see it. If you move it clockwise, here the first one is top view and the second one is front view. Okay, you need to consider that thing. In short, just imagine you're dealing with the drafting. You'll just directly take the front view first, right? Like this, you align it, and then you will have the side view and then top view. Normally we do it, remember that. If you bring the front view and align all the views like this, the top view at the top and the side view at the side, we consider third angle projection. And here also same, the top view will be at the bottom, okay, not at the top. Same thing. Okay, now we'll start with the modeling process. Okay, we'll take the simple example that is frame guide into account. Fine. So to deal with this, what to do first? This is the user interface as I explained before. I'll start with this axis system. Okay, I'll just select the ZY plane and I'll simply click on sketch. Okay, we'll be having the tools, as you could see, the profile, operation tools, and the constraints and all. I'll simply remove these all the tools. Okay, now how to bring him back? Just right click here at your right side and just, I don't want this graphics properties, just right click and search for the operation tools. Yep, and I need the profile. Okay, like this. So I'll use the profile tool from it, and this is the sketch indicator. Okay, it will have the all the coordinates and inputs. You can draw the rough sketch as I do normally. Okay, you can use the 3-point arc by just switching from this, and this is how you can complete the sketch. You can simply escape to come out of this, and now I just need to offset it. So you can directly use this tool. Okay, but you need to select all the entities first. If you select only one entity, it won't do it. So select all like this, use this. Okay, it was unable to compute the offset. uh, Let me see once again. Just select all the entities. Okay, hold the control and just try again and offset it. Yeah, so you can just hover first towards the top, and then you can directly go at the offset and distance, mention it. Okay, 11. That's all. Now by using the tools, the line tool, you can simply close these open profiles. Okay, once you're done with this, you can assign the dimensions. You can use this tool. Okay, if you click once, it will give you the dimension, and you can use it only for once, like this. See, single click from here to here, I need the dimension, only single click is here. I'll mention it as 41. Now it's gone, right? To use it multiple times, double click on it. Okay, so it will be active unless and until you turn it off. Now this distance, you can see here, it is 51, right? And then the radius I need to specify, it is radius 30, right? So this one, so I'll make it 30. You can even drag the sketch profiles to adjust it accordingly. Hold the control and click on this constraint definition, and there you can select coincident. Now this is fully defined. Now we can see the white color line, green indicates the fully defined. ISO constraint and a constraint, it is in CATIA. Okay, so you can define the distance, that is 107. Okay, so we forgot to add it. I'll add it 107 like this. Okay, so done with this, you can simply exit the workbench, the sketch of workbench, and you can use the tools. I don't have the sketch based features tools, so I'll simply right click on this status tab, and I'll search for the tool, the sketch based feature. Okay, other tools actually. Yeah, it is sketch based features. Just select this. Well, so now I just need to extrude it. You can use these all the options, drafted and multi pockets, but right now I just need only the simple padding. So the distance, it is 48, so you can use these options up to next and others. So here we have the mirrored extents, but with respect to SolidWorks, whatever the value you want to assign, it will be divided equally, but here whatever the value you want to assign, it is only for one side, so it is totally 48. Remember that. Okay, slightly different from the SolidWorks and other softwares. So that is done. So next step is to assign the different like fillets and all. So before that, let me just activate the parallel mode. You can go to view and just select the parallel instead of perspective view, so that you can work on the planes properly. Well, next thing is to assign the fillets. So you can assign it, or else you can apply it at the last, as we gonna deal the applied features at the final stage itself. You can do the same thing. It's totally your wish. To move, just hold the control drag, okay, and to zoom in and zoom out, middle cursor button, right click once and drag, okay. And if you want to rotate, middle cursor button you need to click and right click, hold and drag, okay. Yep, so here I just need to sketch this particular cutout slot, so I'll do the same thing. So for that, if the snapping is active, you can just remove it. The grid snap is there, okay. Now you can start with this, but you cannot snap these edges and CATIA. So can you turn on the arc? 3-point arc is also there, but right now this is the better one. So once you're done with this, hold the control, just select these two lines. You can go with this option, that is constraint definition, coincident, okay. And same thing, the radius should lie at the center. So for that, I'll define this distance first. It is 25, and from this total distance is, okay, this is 13. Yeah, so this is half of it, 24. Yep, this is fully defined. ISO constraint, and check it by using this option, that is sketch solving, and here you could see everything is ISO constraint. Exit. I'm gonna just use the pocket, not the pad, okay. I'll use this pocket. Instead of dimensions, I'll use the up to next option. So software automatically can preview and see this. Yeah, so I'll assign the fillets now. Here it is radius. Can apply the 6. So this is the operations tool. You could see multiple options. So this is the radius, distance. You can apply the different propagations, and even you can enter the values here, okay. I'll just make it 6, preview, okay. Just click on OK. And these edges, it is radius 13. Apply the same thing, just mention 13 and just simply preview, see, okay. Now I just need to create these holes. You can select this face and simply sketch on it, okay. Middle cursor button, drag it to just simply pan in circles. As you do in SolidWorks, you cannot snap the locations, remember that. And here, once you create the circles, yes, and the dimensions, the diameter is 10, the both. Now you can hold the control, or else simply select it, right click and select concentricity. This is the shortcut. Hold, like, just select these two, right click, so it has the purple tool. I just, while defining the dimensions only, you can able to define the geometrical constraints as well, okay. Whenever you get the chance, you can do the same thing. Pocket up to next, can do the same thing. Whatever the tool you have used previously and whatever the operations you have done, it will be saved, history based, okay. Next thing is to sketch one more, simply this oil hole. Can refer the origin, and here the distance, it is 51. Oh, this is not from the center, it is 51, not from the arc. Delete this. You don't have the option to change. Okay, from here to this, it is 51 now. The diameter I need to mention, it is 5. Okay, same thing, the same pocket tool, you can simply use to next. This is done. You can use the navigation tools, or you can use this option to just orient to isometric view, okay. That's all about this. If you want to apply the material, you can go this option, that is apply material option. You can just choose whichever the material type you are looking for. Paint, I'll use the gold. Just select the part from here, apply it. Okay, remember that you need to select the part from the top. To have the render, you cannot directly use the real view graphics as we do in SolidWorks. You can use this option, that is render preview. Just click on this option, so it will compute the rendering as per the material application you have done. Even you can set more environments and all by using these render tool, but right now this is enough. Okay, yeah, so this is about one simple model, so you can save this one. We'll deal with the next model. Okay, control N is a shortcut. You can just simply type P and you can simply double click on it, or just click on OK to activate the part workbench. Okay, or double click like this. So now we'll deal with the cutoff holder. So for this, I'll start with the front, that is this face. The plane selection is very difficult if you are using the access system. Plane selection is very important. So I'll draw the rough sketch. Only half of the section is enough. Okay, and you can select all the sketches like this. You can use the mirror or symmetry, you can use it. Instead of line, better select the axis. Okay, you can delete this, it is not needed, or else you can make it for construction. Okay, and now this sketch tool will help you to add the inputs. Let me define the dimensions now. Double click to activate it for multiple dimensions. So this dimension you could say it is 38. Just simply double click 38, 54. Once you assign the dimensions, double click on it to assign, and then from here to here it is 4, it is 16, I believe. Okay, yep, the sketch is fully constrained, that is ISO constrained. You can just simply pad it up to 89. Yeah, once you're done with this, you can use the faces to deal with the next pad option. Navigating is quite difficult comparatively SolidWorks, remember that. You can use the 3D experience place mouse for this, no issues. So sometimes entire part will be active. To turn it off, you just need to click on this coordinate system, remember that, if your part is grayed out. So on this face I'm gonna sketch. I'll just select the face and just start sketching. The references, I just need to draw the circle and the tangent lines. You can see the image at your left corner, right? The first thing, I'll just use the convert entities tool. From this drop down you could see we have multiple options to convert the edges and even the circular objects. Click OK, so that is converted, and even you can do the same thing. We can now drag it as we do in SolidWorks. Okay, yep, so we have the reference axis, so you can simply draw the circles now, 2, and then I need the tangent lines. Instead of profile, you can use this option. We have this advanced tool, that is by tangent. So wherever the single tangent is required, you can use the same thing, so it will automatically convert the tangents. You could see it shows there are no by tangents, single tangents is enough. Okay, once you're done with this, you can simply give the dimensions by using the constraint tool. Diameter values, you could see it is in radius, so to define the radius you can simply select the arc and double click on it, and you can change from here. Okay, remember that. So it is 70, the inside one is Actually, it is diameter 13, not 3. The radius is 3. So confusion. Okay, 13. Done. So the distance from the top face, I need to have it. It is 41. You could see in the image. Raw border. You can do the same thing from here to here. It is 41. Okay. Now the next thing is to simply extrude it, but you cannot extrude because you cannot use the multi bodies here. You can use the multi pad option. If you have this kind of zero thickness, it won't help you to deal with this. Now you can simply exit this by trimming off this one, and you can simply use the pad option to deal with this. Here multi pad is not needed because it's a simple one. Okay, you can simply reverse the direction. Thickness is 13. Okay, and now to deal with this particular stuff, you can simply select the face, the top face of the model, as you could see here, this one. Yeah, so now I'll add the circles here. One and two. This is 28. The inside one is 13. Okay, now it is still not, so I need to refer with the edges. So it is 38 from this edge. Okay, so you can exit the workbench and just simply pad it. The distance is 3. Okay, but the thing is, let me just assign the fillet first. That's radius 3. It is even in this edge. Tangency is active, it will take up to the next tangency. And here this edge as well. Okay, you can use the preview and you can simply click OK. Actually, I need to create the pocket through all, but it is not, right? You could see now. So for that, you can use the previous sketch which you have used for creating pad. Okay, and from that sketch directly activate the pocket. Not here. I think multi pocket will help me to deal with this. Cancel this. Again, go with the drop down and multi pocket. So this time you have the option to deal with this. So which cavity you want to remove. So I'll select the bottom one. Dimension only you can specify. You cannot use other options. Preview. Okay, it's done. So you could see up to 13. Okay, it is less. What you can do is you can edit that feature key. Right click and edit definition. Edit. Here mention it more than that. 25. Preview first so that you can see whether it is crossing. Yep. Okay, this is done. Simple one, right? Okay, so we'll start with the next model. So this is the model which we need to work on. This is feed rod bearing. Okay, so again I'll start with the plane. You can show these planes for your reference. Okay, yeah, so first thing is I'll draw the rough sketch again. You can use the circles, you can define it from the origin. Dimensions I'll assign later. Okay, like this, and here as well. Here I think I need 3. This is for pause. Instead of creating this side, I'll use the Symmetry Tool to just simply make the mirror this side. So I can use the tangency. Once it is done, to deal with this side, select everything in this line, use mirror and the axis. Okay, here bitangent will work. This is how it works, especially made for that tool. Okay, find the dimensioning. I'll start with the center to center distance. It is 60. Okay, you know this dimension, it is 48, and then the inside one is 28.5. The tolerances you can assign it later. Okay, the inside 2 holes with diameter 11. So the outside one is, he has given the radius 19. This is 25, you could see here. The inside one is, yeah, that is 11. This is 25. Okay, still it is undefined, that is under constraint. The distance, center distance, I haven't specified. I'll specify now. From here to here, it is, yeah, 64. Fully constrained. The thing is, I cannot directly use the multi pad options. Okay, so I need to remove these things, but even the circles will create the issues at the top, the boss one. So I'll just make them for construction. These two should be construction. Okay, and even this won't help me to deal with this. We don't have the counter selection here. We have multi-pad options, so this won't work. So I'll simply trim this, and later on I can simply make it. Exit this. So the thickness is 13. We can specify the same. Okay, once you're done with this, you can go ahead with the remaining steps. So this time I'll use the, I can't use the same sketch because there are no features to extrude. So I'll start with the new on this face. I need these bosses to extrude. So this you can refer it for your reference. You cannot drag them. So instead of that, I'll simply draw the circle itself. So you can snap. You can use the constraint to define the concentric is concentric itself. No issue. It doesn't work. So I can assign the tangency. Not this. So for the outer arc to this, it should be tangent. Even coincidence will work. Okay, and then this should be needed, so you can use the convert entities. And extrude it up to 44. It is 48 actually. So from there, 48 minus 13 you can do directly. Software will take into account. Okay, the next thing is to create these bosses. For that, I'll again refer the same face and sketch these two. So it is very difficult to work on another software if you practice one more. So remember that. So I'll double click on it so that I can just have the concentric. Before that, I'll assign the dimension. It is 25 both the sides, 25. Okay, then right click, select concentric, same thing this side. As I told, you can use the same tool, you just assign the geometrical constraints as well. I need this, so instead of drawing, I'll just use the convert entities to take into account. Okay, that is projection here. Exit the workbench, extrude it up to certain distance. I don't know how much it is. So again, like extrude up to 3 mm or 4 mm is fine. No, it is 16 minus 13, so 3 mm. Okay, so fillet everywhere is 3 that you can assign. So I'll start with this plane to create the rib structure. I cannot snap this, so for that I'll use the convert entities, and even this arc at this point. Actually, it is difficult to extrude because I need the fillet in reference to create this rib. So I'll add the fillets first. 3 everywhere. Okay, even this edge. Not the face. To remove it, just select this icon, selection, and here you can simply remove it. Okay, and select this edge. And even you can add the fillets to these bosses, the holes which you have done. So you can simply edit this again. The same thing, you can add these two edges. Preview. This looks fine. Okay. Now we can just deal with the same thing, that is creating the rib structure, but you cannot use the rib stiffener here and CATIA it as stiffener, okay, because you have the circular section. It's quite difficult to do that. First thing is I'll snap the references. Let me just draw the rough sketch. We didn't have any option to snap, so just need to create the rough like this first. This point and this particular fillet point, I'll make it coincident, because to create the structure I just need to create a closed profile to extrude it, because the stiffener will not work in this case. I tried. So let me complete this profile. So from here I'll draw like this. Okay, now hold the control, just define the constant. Okay, took entire surface into account. Yeah, this is done. You can take it slightly in, because if you take it outside it will create the extrude outside, so better to take slightly inside. You can mention the dimension as well. Well, so I'll extrude it. The thickness you could say it is 11, so 5.5 can mention. fillets, both sides. Okay, radius 3. This is how I can create this one. So this is done. So we'll see one more advanced one. Okay. Yeah. So this is anchor bracket. Let's see. Quite simple. Let me just start with the front plane. Okay. So you can draw the rough sketch, that is circle both the sides, and you can define the 140 dimension. So here two circles, and here one circle, and I can use this slot instead of circle here, right? Yeah. So from the profile tab, I'll first draw the tangent, tangent for both. Automatically it will switch the selection according to the selection, the top and the bottom side. Remember that. No need to worry. So dimensioning, this is 51. Radius 20, that is 40, 51. So inside he has given 31.7. He has taken the tolerances. You can specify later in the drafting. 31.7 is enough. Yeah. So still it is under constraint. Can use the distance between these two circles. So for that, I'll simply refer these two center points. It is 140. Yeah, so everything is iso constrained. I need a slot this at the left side, as you could see in the sketch. So I can trim these. This is needed. So for now it is not, because to extrude it, it won't need this. We have the multipad option. It doesn't support contour selection. Remember that. So it will work accordingly. Just deal with the multiple padding options, but not in all the cases. So the slot can use the rectangle drop down. You could have this slot here. There are different options to select. So the dimensions, so it is already there. So I'll specify it as the total is 12. So no, it is diameter is 12, the distance is 12. So I should specify this as 6. Okay. The distance between this center point and this is given 50. Okay, now you can extrude it. The total distance is 22, but he hasn't given the exact distance of that particular rib thickness. So I'll take it as around 18. That's fine, yeah. So this phase I'll refer for the next padding options. So I'll draw the circle, and these two tangent or concentric is fine. Not the concentric. Slot, the same thing. but it should be slightly bigger one. Tangency is fine. And it was at the distance. So he has given radius 20. So I can assign the same. Okay. So total distance is 50. You can just do the same thing. So from, yeah, this is 50. But I do need these cutouts to be taken into account for extruding purpose. So I can simply use this projection so that you can have them. The same thing, in this slot also I need. Okay. Just use this projections so you can refer it as a reference, as well as you can just refer to create the extra pause. So I don't want pad option, you can go with the multi-pad. So once you click on sketch, you have the option to define what exactly you want to extrude. So the second and fourth is the preferable here. Let me just show you. So this total is 44. So we have defined it as 18, so 26 is fine. Okay. 22, not from that face, as we have taken it as 18, right? That doesn't work. We just need to remove and 22 plus 4 is fine. This looks fine. Yeah, you can extrude this as well. So it is total 22. 18 we have assigned. You can add extra 4 for the slot pause. So to do that, you can select the second selection from the multi-pad definition. Yeah, this one. This looks fine. Just a bit confused with the thickness of the rib and the slot. That's okay. We'll take this much for now. Yeah, next thing is to deal with the extra stuff, that is the supporting clamps and the cutout. To deal with that, I'll start with the cutout first. On this face. So to do this, I just need a rectangle, and I can specify the thickness of saw 2. So I'll take the uh, rectangle, not this one. I'll go with the center one. Yeah, this will help me. So I just need to specify this distance. That's all. So simply just create a pocket up to next. That's enough. But the thing is, I should have created this one at the last. So I'll just refer this top plane to create this extra supporting structure clamp. So this is quite confusing. He has given the radius 12, so I can draw the circle here. Before that, I'll refer this edge as a reference. You can make it for construction. But if I see directly in isometric view, it looks like a kind of slot. right? So to avoid to draw this, better to deal with the circle itself. It should be not the reference one. Okay. It is not exactly at the center because I need to place it away from the center to create that hole of uh, drill. So you can simply delete that. First, let me define the dimension. It should be, yeah, it should be exactly at the middle. So 22 is fine because total is 44. Okay, here I just need to place the hole. So the size is diameter 6 drill, and distance, he has given distance 6. So this is okay. You can take the point and the edge instead of point to point selection. You have only coincident. It will sit at the center. So better refer this edge. Now this is fine. The distance I'll specify 6 for now because still I'm confused about dimension I need to assign. But I cannot extrude it from the center, so this doesn't work because this is the curved surface, so I can't extrude like that. It have the zero thickness and extruded inappropriate boss extrude. So I'll take it slightly inside. So I can use this make to normal to plane, sketch plane, if your sketch is oriented a bit somewhere. So this line dimension I don't know. So depending upon the pause you have created, that is this circular pause, you can refer this one. It should be somewhere inside. This looks fine. You can trim this. Okay. And now I can extrude it. Distance is 20, so 10 is fine here. So we don't have any option to interchange the feature orders here. So I tried it. So for that, what you can do is simply refer the same sketch for the creating pocket and just do the same thing. But the thing is the size is small, so what you can do is you can edit that sketch so that it should extend away. So it is a center slot, you cannot drag it. So instead of that, you can define the dimension. Oh, okay, this is fine, right? The dimensions, this is fine. So I have taken a few dimensions randomly. No issues. For that radius of the slot, I have taken I think 30. So okay, you can change it later if you want. So finally, I just need to assign the radius 3 everywhere, even on this face, entire face. Yeah, you can just preview it, screenshot. Maybe you can specify the fillets at these corner edges, but later on you can do it. This is how we can just deal with this one. So I'll start with the nib, a bit complicated. So here we'll use the advanced plane creations and all. Okay, the corner block. It looks quite easy. but a bit complicated. Let's start with the top plane. I'll draw the rectangle. So the size you could refer here. I'm drawing the top. So this should be 80 and 70. Okay. So just extrude it up to 65. So once you're done with this, you can refer this face and just simplify it, and then I'll refer these for construction. Then draw the profile like this, the cutout, and like this. So I just need to remove the material. So you just erase what and all not needed. These two not required. The dimensions. So from this point to here it is 38. Yes, given it. And this distance, it's given 35. So you can extrude it. You can use the multi-cavity. But the thing is, remember, that if you draw this straight line, it doesn't work. You need to split these lines, or you need to create the separate lines. So for that, what you can do is you can simply edit the sketch. You can simply double click on it, or else right click and edit definition. So what I'll do is I'll simply make this line for construction again, and I'll draw the line, so which will split these two sketches. Okay, very important thing. And SolidWorks, it just takes the contours automatically. We don't need to worry about that. Now here you can do the selection. So this should be total dimension is quite complicated. So you can just 80 minus 25, whatever the value is, you can assign it 55. This is done. So this is 80 minus 25 minus 20, 45. This is 35 now. Yep. So this is fine. So final step is to create this particular cutout. It's a bit complicated. So for that, I need to create the reference point so that I can refer the point for the plane creation. So it is 35 distance. Just define it in the length first. Okay. Now, this point here you cannot. Okay, you can refer these. Yep, this is done. The plane is ready. On this plane, you can sketch. So here, see, you cannot snap these points. So it's very difficult. So the best shortcut for this is simply select the edges and refer them for construction, and directly you can place the points there, or else you can use the geometric constraints to define the coincident. Both are fine. It's all about you, how you gonna do it. There are multiple alternatives. You don't need the same features in all the softwares. Just reverse the direction, grab it, that's all. Okay, quite easy, right? The plane creations you need to know, it's very important. You can simply hide it by using this option, that is hide. Okay, if you hold it back, you can simply click on that again to show it. Yep, so I'll go ahead with the one more model, so which will help you to deal with the multi-band or multi-pocket option. This one, say the block. So you can start with the ZX plane. So before that, I'll just customize it. I don't want this access system. You just need to restart it to get it back. So let it be like this. You can even refer these planes for your reference. You can simply just show them. Not this one, okay? Yeah, let me start with this plane, that is right plane, and here you can draw the entire block first. So instead of making everything complicated, so better draw the entire rectangular block and extrude it up to a certain distance. So let me just assign the dimension. There should be 65. I'm taking the side one, so there should be 50. And then just extrude it up to 90. And reverse the direction, very important. 90 done. So I need to create this feature at your right side. You can see in the safety block. To create it, I'll just refer the face. On this face, I'll sketch the same thing. Okay, the fillet is radius 15. So once this is done, so I'll just create the same block on this face. Zoom to fit, and now these edges are my references. For construction, you can use them. Okay, and then I can draw the profile as you could see here. Just draw the rough one first. Entire rectangle. Even I need it because I'm simply pocketing. So inside you draw this one, the same rough sketch. So from this edge, you can simply drag line towards downwards, and here I need the arc. You can use the now the 3 point. Even you can use the same thing. And out there exactly at the center. I'm not gonna take it now. Later on, you can customize it. Okay. So just define the dimension. These two should be parallel. And the center should lie on this coincident. You can use dimensioning. He has given the center distance and the radius is 12, so 20 radius is 12 itself. Okay, and from this point of 22, slit is undefined. To deal with this, yeah, he has given this distance, it is 54. So you cannot drag and place it. It will not snap. You just need to define the relation for that. Point to point coincident will help you. But still it is underdefined. The reason is, yeah, the top, this one, just point at this. It should be 7. Yep, this is fine. At the corner we need to cut out that. I can do it later. So you cannot simply split the point. So what you can do is you can simply create 2 lines, as I said, to create the multi-pocket or multi-pad. You cannot simply draw this straight line where they intersect each other. So we can draw a line which should join these. It's a very important thing. Okay. So once you're done with this, I can simply create the cutout, exit, and the cutout dimension is 90 minus 25 minus 13 minus 19 and minus 13, and calculate it. I cannot use simple pocket because it has the multiple profiles, close profiles. This one, you can mention the same thing, 90 minus 25 minus 19 minus 9, 13, and this. So you can even use the calculator from your system. So this is 15. Okay. So once you're done with this, the next thing is to create the remaining. But if I start from this side, it is very complicated to deal with the dimensions. So I'll start with the left face. I can easily assign the dimensions. Okay, it's all how you deal with this. Snap refer. Now you can just refer it whether it is perfectly fine or not, and you can use these edges for construction reference. Okay. If you need it, you can just turn it on. So same thing, let me just create a reference rough sketch like this. It is like up to here. You can close this profile. This is 7, and this dimension, maybe, okay, it's 20. Yep, can exit. Up to 25 you can create. No, I need a close sketch on the top. This section should be taken into account. So I need to remove this top material. So I'll draw the sketch. Now you can remove it. Multi-pocket. Just select this one, the top one, 25. Okay, this is done. Next thing is to create this. This looks quite complicated. So anyway, I'll refer this face. I can directly draw the same thing what I have done now, and I can remove whole material, and we can even add this particular boss slot later. Let me make these for reference construction. You need this to remove the material, right? So let it be. Yeah, like this. Sometimes it will take the relation fix, so you can simply remove it. The dimension from here to here, it is 30. That is done. It shows ISO constraint. It shouldn't happen. This relation is not needed. You can delete that. So we need to know this distance. He has given it as 35, right? From the sketch, you could see the same thing, right? Yeah, it is 35 itself. But okay, let me do the same thing first. Yeah, this looks fine. I'm still confused. Okay, I'll close this profile first up to here. Now I got the clarity. So you can simply remove these extended extra parts. So you can erase it or you can make it for construction. This is not needed, extended one. So this looks fine. So you can use the multi-cavity and you can remove the material. This one. Okay. I'll try to remove the material. Okay, it doesn't work as I said. The top line should be split at one. So this is fine. The top, I just need to remove one and you can simply close it. Now if you exit, you could able to see what exactly is the difference. Where it ends, it has the two dots. To showcase, it has the multiple counters. Okay, so now it will work. So only this thing I need to extrude up to 13, right? Yeah, you can reverse the direction, or else again here mention it minus 13 is fine. Yep. Now I'll refer this face and I'll remove this entire material. You can refer the same sketch which you had drawn now. There are so many advanced features in SolidWorks to deal with this kind of sketches. In one shot only you could able to do it. I had done the same thing in previous session. You can activate the sketch mode you can simply select these lines for your reference. Construction, click OK. We can remove this material. It's up to 19. Nope. I think I have selected the bottom sketch to reference. Let me make the changes into the sketch. And simply edit that, double click. Actually, this and this, I need it. You can come back and you can just make this for construction to avoid the complications. You can trim this instead of just make it construction and drawing on a line. And enable both the same. So it will automatically rebuild according to the changes. I don't need to worry about it. Okay. Yep, this is done. So I think the slot is still pending. Edit this. Not this one, the sketch. So here what I can do is I'll draw a line and I'll define a distance 54 and you can trim that. Okay, vertical line is okay, fine. The distance from here to this end is 54. Yeah, so now I cannot trim this because given the relation. So this should be split at one. Make it construction. Draw the lines. Done. For this, again, I need lines. From here to here is more than enough. Yep, this is done. So I can use the multi-pocket and or else it will automatically rebuild. Okay. Yep, this is how we can deal with the sketch. This looks fine. Yep, so these are the few exercises. So which will help you to just getting started with the basic part modeling of CATIA workbench. So the last model, you can take it into account. I'll start with the new template. Okay. So with this particular sketch, let me just open it. Okay, so you could see the sketch. Yeah, the locating block. You can start with the same rectangular block again. Define the dimensions 50 and 100. Okay, the top view I'm drawing first. Okay. Here, the first thing is I need to create this cutout. I could refer this one. So if I make it normal to view, you could understand where and which portion I need to remove. So you could see, yeah. So from that particular, from towards the top, I need to remove the material. So to deal with this, first thing, I'll simply draw a line. So from here, you will see, started from here. It looks like a bit complicated, but from the top face, what exactly you can do is I can remove the material up to 25 mm distance. So I'll make these two edges coincident so that you could see what I'm doing now. I'm removing the material towards the right side from the locating block sketch. You could understand that. So he has given the distance of 25. Uh, he hasn't given anything, but he has given this angle. It is 60. You can see in the image. So what I'm doing, you can understand now, right? You can close the sketch that side. Sometimes you won't get the reference. You can use the geometric constraints for that issues. Okay, this is done. So this point should be actually, if you refer whole face into account as a reference now, it will create this issue. So better just select single entities and refer them as a reference. It will help you to just snap the same face edges into account. I had faced this issue multiple times, just repeating the same. What to do with this? Yeah, I could say it is very complicated to select the edge. So you can simply remove this as I said. So you can select all the edges as a reference and make it for construction like this. Now this will help you to snap the edges very easily. Could see. You can delete this. And here to this point you can select coincident. Same thing. This to this, right click, coincident. Yep, ready. The distance you could see in the image, it is 25 pocket. You can do the same thing. Revive looks fine. Okay. Next thing is that tapered cutout that you can do it now. So for that, we can refer the side face and create the same cutout. Just middle cursor button and drag to just pan. Okay, this is for reference. And here we have the line, a tapered line like this. The thing is, he hasn't given much dimensions about it. So I only know the angle, that is 45. But it is fully defined. It doesn't happen like this, but this relation is not needed. You can remove it. So he has given the angle between this and the top line. Remember that. So I'm referring the side view to create the sketch. 45. And now To refer this dimension from there to here, he has given 25. Here I went wrong. Actually, it is I considered and to consider it as 9.5 plus 50, 59.5. So I forgot to do that. So let it be. So this slot and to create it. So construction. Instead of 3 point, you can even refer the arc here. It's better because it will give you the better hands-on. Destination not needed. Dimensioning. This he has given 24. And then this should be 19, 16. They should be horizontal. Simply right click and make the changes. Make it horizontal. Done. Just remove the material up to the distance you could see in the image. Blocketing blockets 13. Okay. And from this face, you can remove the remaining material. That is the following logs. And make it for construction for my reference. You can draw the sketch now. The profiles, the rough sketch, what exactly you need to remove. These side rectangles I'm creating. Okay. So now the top line should be horizontal. You can simply right click and make it. Once again, define the dimensions first. This is 9.5. Okay, this is 38. This should be horizontal. Okay, same thing. 38. Height is 9.5. And this is also the same thing. So this is from here to here, 100 minus 50. It's 50. And in the bottom, But there is a slight issues with this. As I said in the beginning, I have taken the total cutout distance as 50, so it should be 59.5. So I had changed the dimensions accordingly for now. To adjust it, it is 4 instead of 8. Okay, so the sketch is ready. You can extrude it up to next. Okay, yeah. So to deal with this, I will and create the reference points. Okay, to create the plane, I'm doing it. Okay, it shouldn't be there. It should be at the bottom somewhere here. Click OK. So as I said, you can edit this. You can delete these points and plane, and you can recreate it. This point I need. Just refer it. Click OK. By using these 3 points in reference, you can create the plane. This, and this, and this. Okay, preview. That is done. So we can just flip this by using the normal to view. Now to create the sketch, it is quite difficult to snap it, right? So the shortcut is, you can refer these. Even here also you can do. So as I said, you can simply click these lines and make them for construction. Okay, and then you can able to snap the points. This one and this and this. Quite easy, right? Yep, the sketch is ready. You can simply exit and create the cutout. Okay. Yeah, finally, as I said, there are few changes, right? So it is 59.5. I'll make the same thing and exit the workbench, but there is something wrong with the cutout. So before that, I'll make the changes into the bottom face as well. So at this location, I had made some changes now. So this should be 9.5, as you could see in the image locating block. And same thing this side. Okay. Yeah, that's all here. Everything is fine. So I can simply exit this. Yeah, finally, this cutout is making some issues. So I think there is something wrong with the distance. So I'll just change it. So actually, from the bottom it is not 25. From the top side it is 25. As you could see in the locating block, it shows 25 from the top, right? For this 45-degree cutout, if you just move towards right, you'll get the same thing. It should be 25. Yep, this is also done. So let's see. Yeah, the cutout length I need to increase. You can simply edit this pocket, okay, and simply increase the length. Edit definition. and here simply change it to up to next is fine, so it will automatically update. Don't need to worry about the distance. Okay, just preview it once. Yeah, fine, just click OK. Fine. Yep, that's all about the sketch. So this model is complete. Yeah, coming to the summary, we have covered introduction to part modeling, how we need to start with the basic sketches. We have even seen the first angle and third angle projections, how to deal with them, right? How to analyze the views, and by taking the isometric views and just imagining top views and right views and front views, we can able to create the models. So finally, we have gone through the exercises from intermediate level to advanced level. Well, I hope this video will help you to deal with this all the steps to learn CATIA. Yep. Thank you all. Please do like and subscribe our channel. Stay tuned. Bye.